that your friends stole, the ones your cronies stole, you are willing to forgive those debts. You are willing to swallow those debts into the federation account, which Nigerians are still going to pay for indirectly, right? Because now that money didn't just disappear. Poof, the over 200 trillion that we don't even know where it is, and it's not even on the books. That's not even part of the overall 7 trillion NNPC, 7 trillion plus for the Gencos and other forms of debts that you guys have, the government has covered, right? But then it comes to students, the future of Nigeria, the people who are struggling, youth unemployment skyrocketing, right? They can't afford to go to school. The schools are dilapidated. You are saying we want to borrow you money that they have no way of paying back. There's no guarantee that jobs are waiting for them when they come out, right? You are still struggling with ASU every now and then. You've not resolved that issue. So how exactly does that make sense? What is 200 billion compared to 40 trillion? If you can forgive, if you can wipe out 40 trillion in debt, what is 200 billion? And for you to be giving out loans to students in a highly inflationary environment that you created is a terrible, bad idea. It's bad economics. It's lazy economics. It is wrong. And
the idea is keep them in poverty and weaponize the poverty when it's needed, which is during the elections.
Pretty much.
So the poverty they keep you in is deliberate, so that they could weaponize it during elections. By the time they give you 1,000, you vote for them. In some occasions, some even like some places in Ondo State. I remember during the last elections, I'm speaking because I noticed they voted on credit. They did not give them the money. They promised that they would give them. And by the time they voted, they did not see that money. So they deliberately keep you in poverty, keep you below the normal living good below the good living condition, so that when election comes, by the time they tip you just 200, 500, you'll do their bidding. Nigerians, open your eyes.
No, for real. Let me say this finally before we move the mic. So, Macnub, with all the nonsense you came to talk about here, the problem of the power sector in Nigeria, we are no stranger to it. Now, at the end of the day, if you don't want to complicate your life, to the average Nigerian, it's simple. Why don't we have constant supply of electricity like you promised? It is that simple. That's what it comes down to. But if you want to now say ban for ban, all the bullshit you came here to say, the problems are still the same traditional structural problems that we've always had that you guys promised to fix, right? We still have the problem of under-generation, chronic under-generation problem. We're still struggling to even do 4,000 megawatts for over 200 million people. That issue is still there. Our infrastructures are aging. This is a major issue for us. You know, even when you generate your 4,000 megawatt, transmission, distribution assets, they're all outdated. That is a fact. And they constantly fail, even when they are doing those things, right? So your grid is so fragile. My goodness, why does it still exist? It's collapsing every market day. These are structural, traditional issues that we already know. And you guys come and blow all these talking point. I don't mean anything. We know
let's
your gas supply is unreliable. No, hold on. Your gas supply of our space. So that people don't think that we're concerned of all these things. Your gas recently, the gas suppliers came out. How much were they being owed? For that reason, it's affecting. Like what? Your policy that you say you are bringing, it doesn't. If you announce a policy, it doesn't. It's Nigeria we're talking about. Whether it's deregulation, whether you are issuing electricity bonds, it doesn't mean shit because it's an announcement, and we know that the gaps between a policy announcement and full implementation, especially in a country like Nigeria, and there is the politics of it as well. There is no political will to fix the power problem in Nigeria. That is a fact. That is a fact. So until you roll your sleeves and get down to brass tacks, you're not going to fix the problem. In the meantime, they have sent you guys out to go and be selling the top points they give you your WhatsApp group. And shame on you, Macno. Shame on you because you don't love Nigeria. All you do is to come on spaces and be selling snakes. Some days I ask myself, what is the need for you, Macno? Because you're not Daniel Boala. You're not Reno fucking a mockery. You know, all of these other people, what is the need for you? Kilba will benefit as here, Oloshi. How does
Maybe
it
they are
benefit
paying
your
him. Do
life?
you know?
Oh,
Don't know.
He's been paid.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but I don't know. Because if things like everybody is complaining with things happening in Nigeria,
Yeah.
from top down to bottom, everybody's feeling it. Businesses are folding, lots of things are happening. They keep taxing people, increasing taxes everywhere, but we are not feeling the impact. Nigerians, a lot of students have dropped out of school because they can't pay the fees. A lot of things are happening. It's only these people, 3K people on Twitter that tell you, oh, it's working. Come down to the grassroots. People are feeling it.
All right.
That's the truth.
Let's
Okwade talk because we've been laughing.
Okwade is also APC.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm APC. I'm proud to be, and I'm also struggling with the economy. I won't lie to you. I'm trying to be real with you, and I plead your indulgence, please. I plead your indulgence that if I am making my point, are you going to? I hope you're not going to interject me, or perhaps if you're going to interrupt me, you allow me.
I am going to interject. You are struggling. You will die in that struggle. God punish you.
I am okay. God will bless you in the name of Jesus. God will bless you in the name of Jesus.
Amen. In the name of Jesus. Just speak. No interjection.
So Egbe, this one's gonna happen. We're gonna let him speak for like 2-3 minutes, and then I'll let you try that. How about that? Deal? Egbe, do we have a deal?
Deal.
All
Deal.
right.
Somebody is struggling and it's coming here to butter our ass.
All right. Okay, go ahead. You got 2 minutes. Go.
Okay, let me round up. Please don't be emotional. Don't be angry. Don't curse me. Please, let's just be civil here.
All right. I'm going to go straight to the point. Okay? Don't tell us not to be emotional. Don't tell us let's be intellectual. Which other always they have this of bullshit.
Just go to me.
Yeah, like okay, just go straight to the point. Exactly.
Yes, he has done it.
Yeah, intellectual.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll give you 3 minutes uninterrupted. Promise you. Nobody should interrupt him. Okwade, 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So let me start with the borrowing. I had about borrowing. So I'm a physicist, I'm a teacher. So what I know about economics, right from when I was in secondary school, is that all governments around the world borrow, even America borrow. They service debt. Most governments, Western world, they service debt. So the government can actually borrow if there is a budget deficit. Okay, when this present government came into power, there was budget deficit. So the government can borrow if there's a budget deficit. So what's a budget deficit? The budget deficit is when the spending, the government spending is more than the revenue they are receiving. Okay, so a government can still borrow if they want to. There's some capital, projects they want to embark on, and if they want to service debt, there's some rollover debt that the previous government had incurred. So government can borrow to service those debts, rollover debt. The government can still borrow for infrastructural projects. So with this and many other things again that the government can borrow on. So let me shift away from that. Let me go into the power sector. Now, the present government, they inherited a foundational problem. So there's a particular government in 2014, I think it was Jonathan, when they privatized the power sector. They privatized the the generation companies, the transmission companies, and the discos. That was when they changed NEPA to PH. You understand? So the problem they had then was that when they were privatizing those companies, they didn't. They were giving those companies. There are some companies that they didn't have a capital base. That they don't have capital base to invest in the power project itself, like the transmission companies. They don't have the power capital projects to fund the power. So they had a problem from the beginning. There was a foundational problem in the power sector right from 2014. So this present government has inherited that again. So let me shift away from that. Now let me now put the point of their fund. I had about
Before
their
you
fund.
shift away from that, wait. Before you shift away from that, you know,
Yes. We're listening. Okwande, you see how I protected you there? There you go. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you. So in Nelfond, I want to give you a story in Nelfond. Presently, I'm in Lagos. I was born in Lagos. I grew up in Lagos, but I love traveling. Travel is my hobby. I've lived in Abuja and some part of the northern part of the country. I'm in Ibadan right now. And the reason why I decided to settle in Ibadan was because the standard of living is better. So every one of us, we're in different parts of the country. So the economy might be asked to us. It depends on our location and our region. So for me, right now, I'm not saying I'm suffering and I'm not saying I'm enjoying, but I've been trying to tell you about Nelfon in the sense that I have neighbors here. There's one particular man who teaches in the same school. He's from Esako in Edo State. And then there's one other one from Enugu, Mr. Marcos, very brilliant guy. These are mature men in their late 40s, early 50s. Now, what happened that they are obedient supporters. In fact, we usually have this intellectual debate. We talk, we make our point. Recently, they're telling me that I believe that some of their students, their students, two of them in university now, that they registered for no fund and they are not even bothered about paying school fees. Real, I'm telling you, to God, before God and man, before God and man.
Are you mad? Are you mad? They are not paying.
Please, please let him land. You will have time. Please wait now. Let him land, please. Just be noting down all the things he said that you want to happen. Please. Okay. Go ahead and make your points. Okwade, continue. And you have Tudo, how many minutes? I think it's a minute, right?
No, he has 30 seconds. 30 seconds to land. 30 seconds.
Yeah, let's because of instructions, let's give him one minute.
Yeah.
60 seconds. Okwande, go ahead. Finish up.
Okay, thank you. Please, I'm not mad, and I will not be mad in Jesus' name. So the last thing I want to say is that what happened with Nelson was that, in their own case, these two people I'm talking about was that this is an interest-free loan. When the government is saying an interest-free loan, there's no interest on the loan. So by the time they graduate, the government will not remove any money from them. They get a job, employment. It's after 2 years of employment, the government can now be 10% of their salary. Now, this is my final submission. How many presidents since 1999 ever? Now, a lot of students have failed out of school because of school fees. A lot of students, even when I was in the University of Ilorin, I graduated from the University of Ilorin. I have a lot of friends that left school because they couldn't pay school fees. This is federal university, not talking of state universities. Exorbitant amount of school fees. Now, how many presidents has been able to do these policies? Local government autonomies. In my local government where I am in Ibadan, in Ibadan local government, very close to Osun State, roads are tied. I go to farm. There's a particular place. This is a very wide, biggest city. I go to farm. I buy yam. I buy 2 bags of yam, like 40 bags of yam at a rate of 2,500 naira. So I understand the price of people. I understand what they're going through, but I can tell you that let us just think positively. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Now that positive thinking goes to you.
Please stop in this space. Stop putting it.
Just wait.
Demonic entity.
Wait. So would react one by one and face the points. Egbes, please go.
Angela, wait. You want us to be lenient with mad people that came here to tell us. They don't have to narrate story. One people in Southeast, one Osara from Edo, they were working together. They are students. They are saying that, oh, they cannot go to bed and collect loan. Are you okay? When you went to school, did you collect loan to go to school? You ain't seen on entities. Like, they're supposed to just carry you go river, soak you there. Like, they're supposed to carry you go creek, drown you. Because I don't understand. Like, from all the rubbish you cut, now you suppose you move to this city, you move to that city, and then you landed in Ibadan because you live is relatively. You landed in Ibadan.
What
You
are you
landed
saying,
in
my friend?
Ibadan, and
Are you a
Ibadan is
lecturer,
okay.
so?
You cannot be a not this kind of lecturer that frustrates people. Like, I know your type. They go soon set you up. Very soon we go see your nude fly over the internet because tell me how if you are looking okay, why will you be looking like this to start saying you are not suffering, but at the same time you are not enjoying? It's obvious you are suffering, like Superhead will strangle you. These are the these are the set of people we share to me. Some people should not have right to talk, not to talk or vote. Because all this idea of universal suffrage, right? It's not supposed to be affecting best side like this. I'm sure if they put in best side, I will choose in best side 100 times, right? Because what the heck is this? Like on a miss road, it's supposed to be in a different planet, right? What is the name of that planet where life no fear exists? That's where we're supposed to package you guys and then send you off to. Or better still, send you to the brothers of send you to the brothers of
No one, I think go mass,
Send
no
you-
one.
Mask, we they go mask soon.
send you to the brothers of no regard because you are sick. You said you talked about Kwara State. The Kwara State school is Kwara State the same? All those Patigi, Saragi area that has been currently ravaged, Kayama and the rest of them, is Kwara State the same when you schooled in Kwara State?
Yes, there's a mixture of Yoruba.
There's a mixture of I'm not talking about tribe, you fool. I'm talking about security. You're telling me there's a mixture of tribe.
Yes, it's tribal. It's a tribal. I mean,
And you're supposed to be a lecturer. No, and you're supposed to be a lecturer. What is the teacher student now?
yes, the insecurity is tribal.
The insecurity, in fact, that insecurity go finally catch up to you. These are your Ibadan where you dey very soon. Now your news go still online.
It happened for Benue, it happened for Taraba. It
You
happened for
are
Taraba.
sick. It happened for Taraba, it happened for Benue. Who brought the insecurity? They are here saying they inherited debt. They inherit. Who hear you? They talk with you. You wanted to actually make sense.
Don't do that time before when Jonathan did. I did Abuja the South. I did Abuja the South.
The insecurity would have taken you there so that in 2026 you will not be here tapping rubbish. If the insecurity was intense,
no level, Baba, no level.
as it is currently, you cannot do it.
All right. Okay. Listen, Egbes, thank you. Let me do a quick response so that we can move on. What was I going to start with? So, Okwade, I'm glad you say you're not an economist or what do you call it, economist. So thankfully, that's my bread and butter. Sure you get. Um, the problem that the Tinubu administration has is multifold when it comes to borrowing. Now, everybody knows what the problem is. It is the problem of fiscal recklessness. So since the Tinubu administration came in May of 2023, um, the Tinubu alone, so our total debt profile is roughly 150 trillion, over 150 trillion, so both domestic and international debt. Out of that, Tinubu alone has contributed roughly 90 trillion to date. It is something 90 trillion, something like that till date. So, um, So we're talking about $100 billion plus. Now, the issue here is you borrow these monies in other countries where loan programs are designed either through domestic banks or through international lending institutions. They are often tied to things, infrastructures, capital expenditures, and then give it a few months, maybe a year or two, you will see what that money did in the society. You will just see it. Whether you're talking about Ethiopia just finished their badass dam, or you're talking about um, refurbishing, revamping your hospitals, the healthcare sector. You're talking about even all our trunk A roads. Let's focus on those alone. Tinubu wants to focus on all the trunk A roads networks alone, not some road to nowhere, 700-kilometer Lagos Calabar coastal road to nowhere, right? So the trunk A roads that actually Nigerians use actively every day to move transportation, people, goods, services, all of those things that could jumpstart and boost Nigeria's economy and further contribute to our GDP and all these other things, make life easier for our people. No, you're not focused on that. So if the borrowing was about those things, in fact, those things would basically pay for themselves. Because the moment you fix the roads, it's an investment. You're not just doing society a favor. You're actually investing because better roads, we're able to travel faster, safer, we're able to move goods, services, all of those things. But Nigerians are the ones basically subsidizing for inefficiencies when it comes to movement of goods and services, when it comes to the condition of our roads and those other things. When you invest in the healthcare sector, you budget 280 billion, you are releasing billion. What are we supposed to do? Is MRP supposed to do that? That's why the guy came out and complained that he's not getting it, right. That is the point. Sorry, guys. So, the, I will go on and on and on. Like so, the basically when you are spending 80% of your revenue on servicing, that's bad, my brother. There's no way you're going to spin it. So recurrent expenditure alone, what is that? That is the cost of running the government. So it's like see running the country like a business. There are certain bills you have to pay every month, right? Your light bill, your rent, salaries of workers, all those things. So it's the same thing when you're running the country, recurrent expenditure. So we are borrowing to pay salaries. We are borrowing to service debt. We are borrowing to. We're not talking capital expenditure. We're not talking taking this money and actually doing things that we can see to improve the lives of our people. No, that's not what we're talking about. But you're just so because we have a balloon government size of government, we are creating a new agency every other day to reward political allies and affiliates. That's what is going on with this government. So you can come here and say, America borrows, England, Britain borrows, China borrows. But in our case, what is the money doing? What is the borrowing for? And so
They are borrowing to siphon it. They will borrow, they will share it
exactly,
between themselves, keep it in their pockets. Just to
exactly
reward political allies. Yes, now we
that
have a robust National Assembly that just approves anything.
that is exactly right. So Okwade, when you guys go on spaces to say these things, you have to have a good understanding what we're talking about. So that because the way you guys talk, it's shameful. Honestly, it's very shameful. I know for your mind now, you think say you don't talk something will make sense. I'm just telling you that the facts are different from what you are describing. So when you borrow and you send that money towards real projects that the people can see, right? Then we can say, this borrowing is justified. But when you are borrowing to just spend, that is a terrible, terrible idea. And that's what that's what I'm trying to tell you. So there's another way that we could go about this. When you cut the size of government, that is what Tinubu will do. Peter Obi will do. All right, that's what Peter Obi will do. When you cut the size of government, right? This is not a new idea, Okwade. I mean, start from the Orasaye report during Jonathan's time, right? Where this man took his time and and basically streamlined the size of government. There are agencies that they don't even know why they go to work every day. There are government agencies that they go there to go and break it. There are like over 1,000 MTA out there, and we don't even see what they are doing.
You will be seeing essay to president, and you will be seeing
SSA.
essay to that essay. What for? Essay. And
Come on.
all these people are receiving salary. What for?
They're all receiving salaries, they're all receiving ESTA codes. Why do you think they line them up whenever the person is traveling for an event? Why do you think they pack them and their side chicks and everybody? Because they paid, some of them get paid $1,000 a night. $8,000 in extra code. Yes. Yes. That is a fact. Like, dude, at some point, you have to be Nigerian. Forget about the script they gave you in the WhatsApp group. You can be defending the government. You must, you say Nigeria first. Eh? You always say, you have made me to go.
You know what they do? How about they throw you while they're living large.
Yes. That is what is going on. So your debt to service to revenue ratio is just ridiculous. If you want, I try not to use.
Ask the question.
Hang on, please. I try not to use what do you call it? Too much jargons, economic jargons, when we're having this conversation, because so that let's just keep it simple, okay? Let's keep it simple. The government of Tinubu, the Tinubu administration, have been reckless, fiscally reckless. Even your own man, Yemi Cardoso, in his hearing, was it 2 years ago, in his hearing at National Assembly, said that he can only do what he can do with monetary policy because he has these tools, limited tools within his toolbox that he can deploy. But he can only do so much on the monetary policy side. The main work comes on the fiscal side. The government is reckless. Reckless spending is what we're talking about. Political spending, dashing out money to bribe governors, to make them defect. All these monies that could go to infrastructural development, you are spending political money, city boy movement. This government spend more time campaigning than actually governing. So finally, let me say this and I yield back. They run the government like it's a Ponzi scheme. I always love this analysis, right? So for those who have their basic idea of Ponzi scheme, you set up a scheme that you have any idea, you're not producing anything, you're not generating anything, but you build that scheme around an idea, okay? And then you sell that idea and you make it so real that people can buy into it. And then you start generating money. Now you use old money to pay new investors bring money to pay old investors. And you can run that cycle over and over and over until it collapses. Because every Ponzi scheme has some point to collapse. Because the moment you can't bring
just like MMM.
Exactly, that's a good example. So the moment you can't bring in new money, then there's going to be a problem. Now you start giving excuses to the old money guys. You start giving them the run around, and then the law catches up with you. The Tinubu administration, so they have concentrated on financializing the economy. Okay, I want you to listen to this. There is the real economy, there is the financial economy. The real economy is where millions of Nigerians live. The financial economy is when you're talking government assets, financial assets, government bonds, the treasury bills, loans, various other things. So what the government has done, instead of focusing on the real economy of building infrastructures, on industrializing, on fixing our hospitals, fixing our schools. Remember, don't see those things as they're doing us a favor. See them as investments. Because if you fix our hospitals, right, it will cut down the medical tourism rate. The money that we are taking outside of Nigeria to go and get medical treatment, guess what? We'll spend it in Nigeria. People come to Nigeria to come and do their medical tourism in Nigeria. And it ramifies like that. Education, the same thing. If you improve our schools, if you pay our lecturers, students from outside will come and go to school. The ones who are why do you think Nigerians go to Africa and get scholarships and get grants? You think there were no points in Africa, but they get those things to go to school there. You think South African government like they're just stupid, they don't know what they're doing because they have an idea that if we can give you this scholarship and give you these grants and you go to school here, there's a good chance when you finish, you will contribute to our economy. You will contribute to society. You will not be a burden to society. That is the plan. That is the plan. Or you people come here and you act like you don't know what we're talking about. So finally, on that point, I was on financializing the economy. So your credit rating, as long as you can maintain it, you can keep borrowing, and borrowing, and borrowing, and borrowing. Nobody gives a fuck what you do with that money. You line your pockets, you pay your cronies, you steal, you do whatever you want to do, and then you service the debt. That's what you're doing. Just service it. That is why 80 to 90, I think at 2025, was it KPMG or which agency that came out and said 90% of government revenue was going to debt service? Can you imagine that? As of last year, we are right at 90%. So how exactly can we do capital expenditure? How can we invest in Nigeria? How can we build Nigeria? When the government, all they needed to do was cut the size of government, cut government spending, and fiscally discipline all the things that Peter Obi is talking about. All right.
Even the subsidy that they removed, what did they do? They use it to reward themselves.
To do a
Because
beg,
on
oh,
the
as a layman, sorry, as a
if you
layman,
remove
how do you
subsidy,
borrow to pay debt? You are owing. You borrow another money to pay what you are owing. Please make us understand this thing, please. It not make sense to me.
Yeah.
but it's actually not funny. We
No,
actually
it's
say
there
things that
laughing.
are
So
right.
I'm okay. You're full of
And
shit.
you
I'm
you
gonna drop
actually
your ass.
alluded to it.
But let me just say this
I'll
real
already
quick.
drop
2 seconds.
Go ahead.
Let me just say this 2 seconds.
Is that you
When
borrow? Is that you borrow from Lapo to
yeah,
pay another loan shark?
yeah. Let me just say this 2 seconds. When he stood in the podium, when people stood in the podium and said, "If I don't give you electricity in 4 years, don't re-elect me," are you telling me that he failed to understand the gravity of power problems in the power sector before he made that declaration, standing in that pulpit? Because
That's why
if he failed, yeah. So right
all
now
he
he's
didn't care about. He wasn't really serious about doing it.
or he
He
lied
lied.
to Nigerians.
Yeah.
He lied
Yeah.
to Nigerians. He defrauded Nigerians.
Yeah.
He was
He
being
took over
dishonest.
power from
He was being
himself.
dishonest.
He took over power from himself. So he has been the one managing the power sector since 2015. He said it now that he took over power from himself. So all these excuses that they make
And
and say he took over a dying economy,
let me say this one thing. I'll move
when
the
he
mic.
was the
Let me
one
guys,
practically running the economy.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, please. Hold on a second. Okwade, if you are still on the space, somebody's mic is on. Please mute your mic, guys. Okwade, if you are still on the space, Nelfon doesn't have. You said a lot of things. Though you are requesting, I'm not going to give you the mic. Just listen to me. Nelfon doesn't. It's interest free, but there are charges. Who they give this nigga mic again now? Why are you thanking us? Brizella, was it you?
It's me. Oh. I thought you said
No, I grouped his ass because he was laughing.
Bring an investor.
All right. So Okwade,
Okay.
I want you to listen, right? Because we're not just here to make noise. So when you say, you make it sound like Nelfond is like Sukuk lending. So Sukuk lending on the surface, the Islamic lending system, no interest, but there are inherent or things that are embedded that will not carry the tagline of interest. All right. So, but it gives you the psychological satisfaction as a devout Muslim that you are, because in the Holy Quran it goes against what they call interest, whatever. So it gives you that psychological satisfaction that you are engaging in something that God approves of, Allah approves. But ask yourself, why will banks be set up to be giving money for free? Are they charity organizations? So they are there to also make money. So that's how it was. So Nelfund on the surface is interest free, but there are charges involved. You need to go look it up, right? When they start collecting. And you also dropped a lamba. One more thing. You dropped one lamba that in the history of our country, blah, blah, blah. We never had, I don't know, maybe you didn't land on the point.
The government,
Yeah,
leave us alone. No,
that
we've
is a
never had
lie.
a government.
We have had
Give us
scholarships,
loan.
we have had grants starting from the time of Obasanjo, if you stay in the Fourth Republic, right? So don't come and be lying to us here. All right, let's move on. Prinzella, where are we going to next?
To the
I think
bursary,
it is
bursary.
me.
They need to give us bursary. They'll give you bursary.
Yeah.
Your state governor will give you bursary. I remember
That's what I wanted to say.
free. They'll take off your money. Your state government has given you.
All right.
You didn't pay that one back. You wanted to
All right.
stop with that one.
Hold on, guys. So, Prinzella, are you there?
Yeah, I think we can go with justice. After justice,
No.
we go
Justice
with
or is this CJ?
Oh, it's Obed.
it's CJ,
It's Obed.
CJ, sorry.
Not justice.
CJ,
I'm
Obed,
supposed to be the
and
yes.
Yeah, good
Hang
evening.
on, Obed, you're gonna go next. Hang on. CJ, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
What my contribution is, I want to ask, what are we doing about this type of a thing? Because if you are allowing Tinubu supporters to speak, they all sound like their brains is empty. Like I don't know how some is defending Tinubu without starting stupid. So my major concern is just that INEC of the thing, because we cannot just keep, when we are happy, we'll be having high hopes of P2P, Better Nigeria, OK movement. At the end of the day, the problem is INEC. Is it that everybody's forgetting that the major issue? I don't still understand why.
Hold on, CJ. So there's something here that somebody wrote. TK is okay. Said in 2020 my school fees was 21K. 2023 it jumped to 49K. In 2025 it jumped to 128K. Now you are introducing 20K nail fund and calling it an achievement. That's trash. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Come here to defend nail fund. CJ, please go ahead.
Yeah, so like this factor, like this issue of INEC now, because that is the major issue. The major thing that we keep doing every time is that when we get excited again, it will be OK movement, Better Nigeria, like what happened in the last election. At the end of the day, they'll come and release the Tinubu winner by 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So my major concern is that INEC of it. What about it? Can you hear me? Hello?
Oh, is that a question?
Yeah.
Oh, what are we doing about INEC?
Yeah, that's the major issue.
Okay. I don't know. Zero, do you want to answer that? You're waving.
Oh, I also speak. That's why I'm with my
Oh, okay. Hang on. We see you now. You need to wave. Just hang on. Who wants to? Hey, Priscilla and Niger Press. You guys want to answer INEC question?
my answer,
Now,
my answer to every question, to this particular question is this. I think we are on track. If you ask me, I think we are on track to actually kill Tinubu's hopes of re-election in 2027 before the end of this year. I think we're on track. This is the situation where you're playing chess, okay? By the time you take away all the pieces around protecting the king, it's already checkmate. It will checkmate automatically. You don't have to actually, because now we're beginning to break down the contraction of criminality surrounding Tinubu. Gradually, I think just today, we had about 2 or 3 APC members defect to NDC. I mean, these are people that we are defending. I mean, they're defected and they are cursing out APC and all that. One of them is crying on TV, So we're seeing a situation where people are going to be.
My God will polish that one when they cry on TV.
No,
All these politicians are very wicked. No, I know that he will come to this. All of a sudden, you've been oppressing Nigeria since 2015 or whichever year. All of a sudden, because you saw the way they end this, and then you said, and then you're suddenly crying on TV.
So at this rate, I think we'll. So at this rate, and I'm going to finish in 2 seconds. At this rate, okay, by the time ABC finalize, they finishes becoming. I mean, Akpabio has said it already. Akpabio is sometimes he talks, his mouth leaks. It's very flippant. Akpabio has already said that ABC is dead. So by the time ABC dies, you're going to see a situation whereby everybody is going to coalesce behind NDC and P2P Council. And once that happens, all the instruments of criminality will begin to dissociate themselves with Tinubu automatically. And I can predict, I make a prediction, it's a bold prediction. Before the end of this year, we are going to successfully destroy any hopes of Tinubu's re-election. It will die naturally. Even the INEC will be scared to want to create any criminality in the election. Thank you.
How would they be scared? If they bring out the result, what will you do? Or what will Nigerians do? If they bring out the result in favor of Tinubu, what will Nigerians do?
You are saying that they will still, by the time you get into January, these guys will be scared. These guys will be scared of the energy of Nigerians.
This is what I'm saying. Like, people don't know the country we are in. If they bring out the result, like that is the winner, what are Nigerians going to do? Or what will Nigerians do?
Listen to me.
My point is these guys don't know us. We don't know what.
Not about what are we going to do? Whatever we're doing, right? So let's leave that matter alone. You do what you need to do for now. A lot of people are doing different things. We are organizing, we are mobilizing, we're all in different groups. Find yourself in one of those groups and do what you need to do. The one that's closest to you. You don't worry about that. Don't worry about, what is going to happen tomorrow, or what was I going to say? Don't worry about that. Just leave it alone.
No,
by keeping that
protect your polling unit. Polling unit in your area. Protect your polling unit.
You do what you need to do, and it's right. Everybody's chipping in. Come and say, what are we going to do? Because you are already suggesting that we're not going to do anything. So Tinubu wins again. I'm not going to say that on the space. She gets. So let's just keep the conversation going. We are here to talk about Peter Obi, how Peter Obi will fix Tinubu's failures. That's all we're here to talk about. We're not here to talk about what we're going to do for elections or whatever. One day at a time. I don't know if it's the first time on the space. For months, we've been on.
Yeah, it's my first time.
Okay, no wonder. So listen, we are obedient ninjas. Let me introduce ourselves. We're obedient ninjas. So that's what the group is about. So here, we push the simple narrative that Peter Obi is the best man for the job. So for months before today, we've been discussing is we've been on ADC's neck, right? So finally that relationship is over. ADC is in our past, right? And we have formed a new relationship. Found a new lover, okay? So we're taking it one day at a time. Believe me, as we are here on this space, people are mobilized, people are working, but it's not everything that they will come on open space and come and say. Okay. So just play your own part in your own locality, your own group, and we all do our part, and then let's see what happens. Shake it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here today. Thank you so much for. Yes, no. Yeah, thank you. Greetings to you, Tudo. Thank you so much for allowing me. Quickly to the brother just spoke right now. One of the things you need to do is, if I ask you how many people have you been able to win over, to be this last month. I don't know how many you will tell me. So the more you just keep telling people who to vote for, why they should vote for that person, find a way to tell them to join NDC. If Peter Obi leaves tomorrow and creates ZZ party, we'll move. That is the party we belong to. We don't belong to a particular state. So the more many people come out to vote for NDC, that is PO, not NDC, PO, the more the chances of us winning, the more you put more confusion, you know, into the camp of
Okay,
another poverty coming.
that's something. Can you hear me? Hello.
I'm with you.
You know that
Yes, go ahead.
APC is a very devilish party. You understand? They have this way of using money to buy everything they want to buy.
Everything. Listen. Don't make a
APC
mountain
very
out of a
devilish
molehill.
party.
We understand that, but every human has a breaking point. You see me have a breaking point. Do you understand? Don't make it look like this Okuna did that is even Chido and Prezella. You might get large heart. I
We've
would
been through it in 2023. We've been through this.
not.
Haven't you learned
This
from
time
them?
around,
Just turning the chin this yesterday. We've been through this.
what they will see this time around is far different from what is last time. I told somebody that you think it was easy for Tinubu to allow you to announce Peter Obi as the winner in Lagos? Do you know how many things numbers they cancelled? You think that's the actual official number? They just gave you a particular number that it got more than that. You know how many canceling and keep canceling until they said, we don't too much, just allow them to let it be that Peter Obi won Lagos. The more we get people to end this, to come and vote Peter Obi and that, the more we dismantle their party. Forget about those people. Don't make it look as if they are big. Forget what see, they don't know what it is. Let me straight to what I am saying.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
Now, my situation, I would like to keep it very short. The other member of another poverty community, APC member, came here the other time. That's why I said, Fido and Peter, when I get large heart, if I meet, you know, go talk to level. I'm telling you the truth. Me, I be wicked obedient. I know be. Do you understand? So if Obi leaves, which I know is not possible, he's going to be the president. I really believe. Or if he leaves tomorrow, I'll break my voter's card. I'm not going to use it again. You know, like somebody said here, you cannot defend APC and remain sane. You'll be a fool. All right. The other person said, where did he say it? Who didn't say that? Let me tell you. Tinubu said it on first post that posted it. This thing that posted first post. And when it became more popular was on the 12th of March 2026 that the visuals came out. But the very first time in 2023 was first post. I mean, I said, what was his name? Jagaban said it in a hall. Do you understand? In Lagos. So forget that thing. He said it, and he said it exactly. He said, if I did not do it in 4 hours power supply, that you should not vote for me. I wouldn't, they won't lie against like AI because that's one of the things they use to lie. And I must let you guys know that this is the worst party. I need to tell everybody that they are the worst party I've ever experienced in my life in Nigeria. So please, that person that is saying this, just go and take several seats. Now, the next thing I would like to say is this. There are some things you expect, when someone is actually hitting the mark. If you're a president, you're doing the right thing. One of them is the fact that the common man will feel your impact. Once the common man does not feel your impact, any other thing you're saying is nothing but what lies. APC know just how they know how to turn it. They know how to tell you that white is black. The other guy just came here and started us. Thank God for someone like you that explain more. I really wish that people like the other demon there that is the president and the rest of them that are listening with the name. I will say this to you. See, look at
They don't want you. Hold on, bro. They don't want you. I don't go TV twice. The moment you start talking like the way I did talk for this, why do you think I settled for this? I don't go any TV show again. This guy say because over there they go block you. They go just shut you down. I swear to God, like it happened to me 3 times. They will block you. They'll just because you know why? All these media have two things. they are being induced and they are afraid. So
And I know one of them.
we know that they take money. All these bioeconomic
Yeah.
they take money to them,
Yeah.
and then so when an APC person, like the last one I was on, when an APC person come and is selling to Nubu and they're full of they don't know anything, and then you now come because they pay to come there. Yeah. So I didn't pay, so I went there, and then we started talking. They give the guy more time. They shut me down, and in the end, they don't even. The moment you start talking and explaining too much and bringing down the government, they will just be like, all right, we're not going to go on a commercial break. We'll be back. Like, I'm like, what the heck is this?
From there you move. Honestly, what I usually say is this, I've discovered that I've tested it several times and it works. Anybody that is supporting another poverty company, APC, check them very well. One, they are heartless. Two, naturally they are thieves, they are criminal, pure rogues. Three, they have one or two jobs that they got during this administration that they gave to them, they are eating from. Four, they are very, very selfish. Okay, they are selfish. Five, either he or she was once an agbero. I was giving one or two cars somewhere. All right. And of course, you know the fact that either that person is very, very wicked person, heartless with the conscience, whose conscience has been sealed with hot iron, like Bible will always say. You understand? Of course, you see the opposite are people like you see obedient that you and I are today. I'm not saying it to praise anyone. Check it very well. Use it on your own. You will see that obedient, most of them, when you see them, when I see people like, I'm sorry I have to call you to do and Prinzella and the rest of them, I saw them on street. When they talk, you see fact, you see sense. Check an APC member. Check, I've been privileged to just join their space for once. Daniel Will, I don't know if anybody remembers Daniel Will and the rest of them. When they start like this, I don't really spend time on their space because you see how I ask myself, how do these ones think? Do these ones have conscience? So naturally they gather themselves to say what pleases them. That is why they now allow someone like Tinubu to go to the TV station because they wouldn't want us to say the truth. An evil person will never want to hear the truth. So that is that for that. Now, someone else, I don't want to forget, came here and said, try to think outside the box by telling us, what of if Peter Obi should become president? Because I'm now landing on the topic here at hand. If Peter Obi should become president, the bad people, in Senate, House of Senate, blah blah blah, and then comes and then begins to, how will he be able to maneuver them? How will he be able to, you know, raise his head above water and then make some good policies? Now, I would like to tell that person that you're not thinking deep enough. Now let me tell you something. There are few things we expect under the constitution of Nigeria that the president has the power to do. One of them is number one. The president has the power to appoint officials, all right, which means the president appoints ministers, heads or of agencies, etc. But here the Senate must confirm, of course, when they appoint them, the Senate will confirm, of which you and I know. Now, during the time of Peter Obi, when he becomes the president, Peter Obi will not appoint rubbish people because all eyes, including you and I, Chido and Co, will dey watch am. Peter Obi knows that everybody until I go dey high when he becomes the president. He will not appoint any rubbish minister. Of course, when he becomes the president, but Abi Amela will go. When he becomes a president, Bayo Onanuga will not be found. That's so many, lots of them. This one that destroyed his career because he wants to start collecting dollars. Sheyi, the comedian, he will go. Lots of them, they will all go. That's why people like that can still talk. You give them a little change. You come to Twitter like Okunade came today and started saying nonsense, and the rest of them. They will come and talk to say because you see there are people that are observing them, and you must hear you talk on Twitter. If you want that money, will give to you to work. So they come on Twitter and come and be. I don't know how to stepping foolish things. Now, another thing as the president, the president has the control over the military. The president is the commander in chief, right? He can deploy troops, he can make security decisions, like someone said here. Most of you will not be ashamed to get mercenaries from Israel or US. All right? The six, the MI6 and everything. He will not be ashamed to get them to come and use their body heat, how they call it, camera. This and this helicopter that can detect body heat in the night. UK they have it as well. He's not ashamed to call them to come and help us to clear all these nuisance and all these blood sucking demons called Boko Haram. He will do it because he's the commander. He can command the military. Now, before I quickly say a few words here, when Buhari entered, I don't know if anybody remembered, within 1, 2, 3 weeks, there was light everywhere. That is psychological in nature. When Buhari entered, I know there was a lot of things we both knew about Buhari, was a no nonsense person, blah, 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 not knowing that he was trying to usher us into the evil that is going on. That period, everything begins to normalize, start changing on its own. All right? Because they don't know who is in power. They don't know how this person will affect them, either negatively or positively. So people were trying to see, this one is a president. We've heard about him before. What will he do to us? Let's do our job right. Within a short time, everything went back to square one as time went on. Why? Because they've finished. They've seen why that there's nothing this one can do. It's just leave. The same thing will not happen when Peter Obi enters. Peter Obi will not allow a contract to go on. And the person they gave the contract to start misusing it. Peter Obi will find you out. One day you will suddenly see Peter Obi, all right, right there that they give you that contract. And you will explain what you're doing with the money. So I expect a lot of things because there are a lot of things. Both the activists, all the brainers, all that has sense, will all be our antenna will be high once Peter Obi becomes the president. Another thing is that the president has the power also to declare a state of emergency. If there's any serious crisis, what breakdown or order, the president can act fast. You know what this means. There are some things that we can easily shut down. There are some things that usually happen. Say that whenever it happens in Nigeria, that's when your president now, that will enter jets and disappear. Peter Obi will not do it. Peter Obi will know when to call some stuff quick. He will know when to give an order. He will know when to declare state of emergency, know when to ask something. Definitely, I strongly believe, I'm not saying because I'm talking, there are people who will employ that will make sure things will work. And I'm telling you, it will work naturally that you and I, or the entire Nigeria, will say, no, Peter Obi, you must go for a second time. Even when you say, you like it because you want to be a man of integrity, I'm telling you, it will be so positive that we will all ask him to stay, for a second time. And then another thing is that the president has the power to prepare and present the budget. Of course, they will burn you well, make you go the bad budget under Peter Obi.
Bro, I may not
You
vex.
will not.
Military will not be allowed to hold this. What's his name? This Justice Clark. Military under Obi will not allow that. Never. The command will know that the president will not tolerate such. They will never try it.
It will not work.
Thank God bless you, my brother.
Because there are it gets some things. Why I'm trying to correct this is it gets something which if it happen right now, once people will come to prison. Some people will get out to all this oil bunkering. The majority of them are so big military men that have been privileged to work with of them. I know what they do. Some of them will jet out. Some of them will resign naturally. They will leave because they know what is about to happen. And that is why a lot of them are fighting. There are some of them we don't know yet that are underneath fighting, making sure that Peter Obi does not enter. So if he enters now, eventually becomes president, I'm telling you, there's some things that will automatically reset itself naturally because they know that the head is correct. The one at the head, his eyes is overseen everywhere. So that is just it. Another thing is that the president can sign it under the constitution. President has the power to sign or reject bills. What you want on pass? Peter Obi will go through most of things. You know, if you go through all of them, he will call somebody. He will call someone to come ahead and check through it. If he's that busy, and the president has the power to issue executive orders. Peter Obi knows how to make use of this thing very well. The president handles foreign affairs. You and I know. Peter Obi jumps from one country to another. What does he do when he's talking? You know what he's saying. You know why he went there. He's not going there to go and tell you lies. Like your president of now will go and come and tell you lies and I'm going to go and sign one bill or the other. You went to the UK the other time. You were killing your people. You rushed and went to UK to go and do what? You went there and formulated one rubbish. And then came back here and started thinking that we're all big. Don't know what is going on. all of these things will not happen. I could go on and on and on and on like this, but I'm trying to tell you there are some things that will automatically reset itself when people is there. That 5 years. The other person, this another poverty coming guy, he came here and said, what did he say again? That was when this one that the people lecture us on right now, Nelson, Chukwu and the rest of them, he did this. I wanted to ask him, but I did not want to give the rules. I wanted to ask him, how many people are begged in Tonsi say they give this so-called university, the cash for them to go to school? Can you have also one person? Up to now, some of you remember, there's one particular one they started now, TVEC, where they want to train everybody. I've been following that thing since about 2 months. For a month, it started. They've not started. Nobody has received the money. No training has been started since that time. After somebody, Ogbeni, they just did you another 419. They are about they're just trying to soften your heart for you to go and vote for them. But I pity anybody that wants to vote for this people again. I don't think any sane person will ever vote for APC again. If you try it, you just should come back again. I don't want to think about it. I want to believe that they will never. They should come back again. So they will finish. See, you see all this money is throwing about, giving billions here, giving Belen and water money, and the so-called city Momo people. See, he's going to recoup all of that money. He's going to recoup it. So I just wanted to that aspect was where I needed to talk on. That
Somebody saying, imagine telling Peter Obi that snake swallowed.
God, oh, you go to the bush and get that snake. You will send it to the bush to go and get that snake and come out. Why is China being called everywhere? China is number one when it comes to production today. I remember I was in Daniel Wales this week. I don't. Some of you should not try and joke. Just play small. Go to their states. You see, you'll be asking yourself, I beg. Some people they reason with their bomb bomb. They don't think. Some people pass through school, but school do not pass through them. As I said, we are the two opposites. Check the people of the supporters. They are intellect. There are people that when they are talking, I'm not praising anybody. And then check. So,
All right.
if you are still here, people are being enters objective, darkness of spirit, you play that you next body. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. What I would tell you if you are here, unlike what that crazy Okwade boy was saying, all I just want to tell you people, everywhere is hard. I know everybody is suffering, but be patient. Be patient. All will be well. Try. That's all they've been telling us. Even the president himself. So I've been hearing that people are complaining. There's no electricity, there is no that's nobody is able to do the work. That's what me saying this. So you have to wait for like 2 days to get understanding what he's saying. So finally when he does, like I know it is hard. But thank God we're not like Kenya. Those motherfuckers in Kenya, my goodness. Have you seen them? Have you seen them in Kenya? And Kenyan president, not Ruto, not to be left out. He goes, have you listened to Nigeria speak? Those niggas, when they talk, you're going to be like,
This thing you say just reminded me of something, right? Hi, and Deji, if you're here listening, that space no delete am. There was this time that our father people about that, right? He went on national TV and he said, when I came in, dollar was 1.9 or 1.8. Do you know that APC people spent close to 6 hours on Deji's space? Deji, don't delete that space. I will go through my bookmarks, go find out. 6 hours trying to figure out what the president meant. APC people that live with him, APC people, how much were us Nigerians? Traditional media said, well, how is the president saying he made dollar 1,900 and reduced it to 1.3? APC people were just sad. Then at some point, after like 6 hours or so on that space, one of them finally cooked something that was that group and came up and said he was talking about standard deviation. I was just saying, what the fuck did I just listen to? It's like this guy will smoke something and talk, and the other people got smoke and answer that
it's like let's read the try to form the right
Yes, yes.
So you don't
Jesus.
you read Nostradamus and say, yeah, he was talking about Super Eagles winning the World Cup. Definitely.
What are you talking
over
about?
here, this full stop over there, he was definitely talking about Super Eagles in 2020 winning the World Cup.
Yeah. It's like, guys, what are you talking about? He literally just said balably, bulaba. What are you explaining? What are you literally explaining? Bro, stop, man. Stop. A perfect example, right? And this is the thing about APC people. These are very sneaky individuals. Go back and go and watch, and I think I wanted to play it, but then I had to call somebody. Go back and go and watch that video. Go back and go and watch it. It is clear as day. He even added a promise made is a promise kept.
No, he reversed it. A promise kept is a promise made.
Okay, even better. Look at me, I'm hearing correct. This guy, it's a whole bunch. It's just a whole bunch. And then you have people coming up to go and gaslight you. And there was something, right? Whenever an APC person talking on face, let me give people candid advice. So you know, calm down, like you won't wake me to death. Make I talk 2 sentences, I go mute. I supposed to be close, I no vex. To help me beg, I'm not again, I won't kill me. So whenever an APC person is talking on space, yeah. Whenever an APC person is talking on space, this is how they move. What I do every single time, especially when I want to debunk, is I bring out another phone and I start recording what they say. And if I can, I take notes because these guys are serious wafflers. They ask local man, they go to pull up my name. They ask local man, right? Hold on. This one exactly. I've been in a couple of people. Yes. They ask local man. Local man, please, why don't Nigerians have power after Tinubu has promised them power? Especially since Tinubu has gone and used the same people's money to go and give himself solar. Local man started waffling. He has cleared the legacy debt. He has issuance of board. Asset management company. My brother, remind me of that asset management company. Gamco to manage the green assets. The relegation of power sector. Nigga, what the fuck? Tinubu has 24 hours power supply in his own house with solar. With my money, with my kids' money. Why don't I have power that he promised me? What are you going to do? Are you going to 3.3 trillion naira? Are you going to invest? I think I'm like, well, if you did not know how to give me power, why did you promise me power? Why are you waffling? Why the fuck are you waffling? If you don't know how to work, get the fuck. Stop eating the rewards. 150 billion naira no serious debt. Nigga, what are you doing?
Are you talking about?
What you don't like, bro? It just rolls off your mouth. It rolls off your mouth. No control. You think standing on the sidelines before you know that famous picture that they have where I don't know whether it was 3 or something. Nobody really knows that guy's background. Where he's on the sidelines pointing out to play ball in the pitch. That is exactly it. When Jonathan was in power, you got the Tibos or more corruption. They have done this, they have done that. Democracy. What the God? Yeah. No, my mic is not loud. No, it's not good. Chris mic is loud. My mic is not loud.
I was saying
commodification of
cassava. No, it was cassava. It was cassava.
No, you are commodifying the naira through cassava.
Yes,
that's the nigga I was talking about.
Yeah, that nigga was.
So funny, but that's what he said. Yeah, but that's what he said. Wafflers, just fucking wafflers. Like, bro, and this is the thing. This guy did not say much. He did not say much. He literally said, Kano, I want to down. He did not say much. The one thing that he said, the one thing that he managed to say, we are telling you it is there, it's on record, it's already on Tinubu's TV. You are telling us we should go and watch the video again. Nigga, what the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know this guy.
Anyway,
I don't know this guy. So I was watching the news yesterday.
Tudo, I hope you are aware that 70 people defected today.
Yeah, I am. So I was watching the news yesterday. I sat there in my living room tonight, and I had this overwhelming feeling of sadness. I was watching Kenya's Ruto, and then I watched which other world leader that was. Yeah, I watched this new guy in Hungary, the 45-year-old leader after all that, and then I watched There's something about Botswana, Bogoduma, they're young, 50s, 50 something year old guy, 53, 54 at the stage. Then there was South Africa also, South Africa. And a common theme in all these leaders I was seeing, they are young, they are energetic, they speak eloquently, they are very engaging, they move fast, they are nimble.
Let me tell you, one of the
I'm
things,
like
one of the things that
Nigeria.
leaders are
Hold
supposed
on,
to do.
sorry. I'm like
Yeah.
Nigeria, who to curse us with old dying motherfuckers? Like who say our destiny is to have presidents that when they since Buhari, I know they hear what the Nigerian president they talk. Bro, I am not making this shit up. I don't understand them. I don't hear what they're saying. Now look at Tinubu, he's falling down. They grab him by the hand. When he really look at the APC convention, paper where they give him, make him read do about electricity, what him promise. He no fit read am. And APC people want to come and say that is okay. How can that be okay? When you should be telling Tinubu, Esther, Otito, Elo retire. If let somebody else take over, like they did by in America. This is wrong. This is a wrong Nigeria. We used to project leaders who are younger, strong. When they move very speedily. They smile well, they shake firm handshake, like they dress sharp. Like that image right there, it projects strength. It means something. But when you have a weak leader, not just weak in terms of governance, physically weak, and that is why many of us have been saying it is time to move away. And don't come and tell me it's his brain you need. You don't need his body. Tele Momodu has been saying that crazy guy. Because they don't choose plantain. He can't tell the truth. He can't tell the truth. That nigga. Oh, but I don't need his body. I need his brain. Like what? His brain is fatigued, motherfucker. His brain is fatigued. He can't even think. Don't you understand? He's not in charge. He's not the one running the country. Right? He's not the one running the country. He's running the country by proxy. Atiku goes out there to that event, the declaration, and he's falling asleep. That is your president right there, Toby. He's falling asleep. I mean, what is wrong with you people? Can't we just move on from this nonsense and just change the narrative for a second? Just change the narrative. But you people, for your selfish ends, you do not care about Nigeria one bit. You are so selfish. You are selfish motherfucker. You only care about your pockets. You want to keep him there till he dies there because as long as your bread is buttered, you don't give a fuck about Nigeria. And it's a shame. Shame on all of it. It's a shame. Anyways, Lele, hopefully, I am praying if there is a God out there that really answers prayer. I'm not sure anymore with Nigeria. But if there is one, he has to know this is bad. That God must know that this is bad for us. Come on, man. This is wrong.
You know what I wanted to say was that presidents are supposed to inspire people. You people should uninspire people. Your current presidents, they uninspire you, and you a country of mostly young people. Anyway, so
How can the president
Chatham House, they asked Baba question.
How can the president say, I heard all your cries. I know you're confused. Have you seen Kenya? Those motherfuckers, my goodness. Have you seen them lately? Have you seen them lately? But by all benchmarks, Kenya, they enjoy past Nigeria. No, guys, look it up. Just especially APC urchins here. Go and do a grok comparison between Kenya and Nigeria. Go and do it. And come back. Like which president talks like that? Are you presiding over Kenya or are you the president of Nigeria? How can you say, we know things are that well, we're not like that other country? Come on, who talks like that? And then for 4 years, it promise, promise, promise. It go better, it go better, it go better. When are you going to actually do the work? When are you going to actually fix Nigeria? When are you going to actually get down and actually change our fortunes? Because all you've been doing is promising, promising, promising. And we are tired. Because as you are there, you are ruining lives. There are people who can achieve their dreams in Nigeria. That's why our Nigerians are running out. Nigerians will sell their left to get a visa. That is the fact. Because there's no hope. Your renewed shege that you have given us, that renewed hope is renewed shege. Like there's hopelessness in the land. And all of those people that are saying, when I rent out, I'll be fine. That Nigeria follows you. Nigeria follows you wherever you run to. I swear to God. Because your family people are going to be calling you. They are going to be that's why many of you are doing 3, 4, 5 jobs in diaspora. Because that money you are making is not for you. It's not just for you alone. Every time they're looking for somebody to do double and triple shifts, call the African. He's always available. Call the Nigerian. That one, he has no life. Why? Because all the phone calls that are coming in. So don't think that because you have escaped Nigeria, you have escaped. No, Nigeria follows you. So that is why we are saying that we want our country to turn a corner. We want a new leadership. We want responsible governance. We want leadership with empathy. We want those who don't want to go and invest in other people's countries, want to go and buy properties, use state funds. Peter Obi is not collecting nothing since he left office. Show me another person like that. No, show me. This man has demonstrated that he's really a visionary, transformative leader. He really wants to do something. He really wants to change this country. That is what we're talking about. But all of you, because you don't value your life, because Nigeria is going to happen to you very soon. And when it does, you're going to be on the streets doing GoFundMe and shit. And we are going to remind you, check it, we are going to remind you of all the things that you have said on this street. All right. Sub-Zero, take your time. Go ahead.
So much, host. Good evening, guys. OTP, Velele, Chris, you all are my mutuals. Justice. It's been a really, really good evening for me here. Listening to you guys talk this APC miscreant. I've been meaning to speak because I have so much I want to say. You know, Tinubu is actually carrying out all his promises made election. He said he will cut down on Nigerians' purchasing power, and he has done that. Nigerians are close to being beggars on the streets. Uh, and he said that if he doesn't give you guys electricity in the next 4 years, don't vote for him. He didn't give us electricity, so I don't know why he still wants to come. And they asked Daniel Boala on TV. You know what he said? He said Tinubu has not come out here to run for second term. Do you know how funny that is? That means that these APC people are not human beings; they are zombies. Because any human being with a working brain would never think or speak like APC miscreants. Sometimes when it comes to my space, I only ask them a few questions. There was one that particularly said that every presidential candidate in the last election claimed that they would remove fuel subsidy. And I asked him, I said, do you think that people just come on his inauguration and say fuel subsidy is gone? And he said, oh, they all had in a manifesto that okay, they're going to remove fuel subsidy. And I said, okay, what is that thing that you put in place to curb the effect of this fuel subsidy removal? And he went on to say that, oh, there was no budget made for subsidy removal. And I realized that we are not up against humans, we are up against zombies. Tinubu came into power and he claimed that Nigeria was on the verge of bankruptcy and that there was no fuel subsidy to go on. So, which means that Buhari had to remove fuel subsidy. And he said that we didn't have money to continue paying for subsidy. That's why he completely take it off. And we didn't have money to continue to subsidize dollar. And that's what he claims, right? But I'll tell you what, a good leader has empathy for the citizens. And that is the difference between Peter Obi and any other person coming out to claim he has the interest of Nigerians at heart. You claim that Nigerians were on the verge of bankruptcy, but we've seen you borrow billions of dollars. So why didn't you borrow a certain amount of money to subsidize that petrol for the last 6 months, really 6 months of 2023, enable you settle into office and then put things in place to ensure that whenever you want to remove that fuel subsidy, maybe in 2024, then the effect will not be massive on the citizens. For example, if he had borrowed money like he has been doing in the last 3 years to subsidize fuel for the remaining part of 2023, been able to settle and look at the things that he would do to ensure that once he removes the fuel subsidy, that the price of fuel will crash automatically. Now, we rely so much heavily on fuel because if you're driving a car in Nigeria, you're buying fuel. If you are in a business, you buy fuel. How do you ensure that these things don't really affect Nigerians because they need petrol and they need to get it at an affordable price? So you subsidize the fuel for 6 months. You try as much as you can to use the remaining 6 months to put these things in place. E.g., you make it easy for people to import electronic vehicles and bikes, and also work on the power sector to make sure that there is light, so that people will not rely solely on generators and all that, right? And by the time you make the importation of electric vehicles easy, people will start importing vehicles, and it will cut down the consumption of fuel. It will also create jobs as well. And a lot of people will feel interested to want to go into that business as well. But no, this man came into power not because he wants to rule Nigeria. He came into power because he wants to loot and strategically set his family to rule over Nigeria even when he's gone. And when I see people come on spaces to defend Tinubu, I just feel so bad that I don't see them physically. Because I think we've been too calm and we've been too quiet on this matter. They think that we can't do anything. That's why they just come on here to say nonsense. I was here when the other one was speaking. Oh, I'm in Ibadan is safe. Oh, I bought 4 pieces of 4 tubers of yam for 2,500, and I was listening to him, and I'm like, oh, just let me speak. Let me answer this. That's why I was waving all this time. I wanted to just ask him a few questions. I wanted to ask him, can he travel from Ibadan to Kwara State by road and will not be praying that he gets to where he's going safely? Sometimes people speak and they think that we are not in Nigeria to witness all that is going on in Nigeria. I'm in Nigeria and I know what's really going on in Nigeria. And that is why when I hear APC miscreants speak, I feel so bad. And now let's talk about what would Peter Obi do to fix Nigeria. We've heard Peter Obi talk about cutting down on the cost of governance. Somebody spoke about uh, these officials having SSAs and all of those people wasting our money. You see a convoy of an SSA, you see cars that convoy, you'll be wondering where are you getting the money from? Taxpayers' money, our natural resources. And on top of that, they are still borrowing money. This is what they are borrowing money to finance, not because they want to build infrastructure, but to sustain their luxurious life. Continue to, fund their side chicks, fuel their convoy, and throw crumbs to their miscreants who would come on here to defend them, paying them 20,000 naira to come on here and defend them. Those ones with no future, with nothing to live for, will come on here foolishly, you know, run their mouths, just like those two miscreants came on here to speak, you know. But again, I am happy that the person that we are rallying behind is Peter Obi. He has a vision. And that is why when I hear people speak bad about him, I feel like I want to take their head. Because how can you be so dumb that among three people that we are seeing with our own God given eyes, Obi, Tinubu, and Atiku, and you want to tell me that you would prefer Tinubu and Atiku over Peter Obi? And when they ask, they will say, oh, what did Peter Obi do in Anambra State? It leaves me wondering, like, are these people Nigerians at all? Someone came into power, cleared the debt, he didn't borrow money. He moved the state from being a average or low state to being one of the most talked about states in the country. On top of that, he had a chance of looting 76 billion naira when he was leaving office. What did he do? He left it so that the next person coming in will have something to start up with. But I'll tell you what, Nigerians don't want a lot. Not, let me not say all Nigerians. Some Nigerians don't like honesty. They like being tortured, being tormented, like Tinubu is doing to them. That's why you see some people come on here defending Tinubu. Because tell me who in his right mind will be going through all that we are going through in this country and will still come on here to will buy petrol for 1,320 naira a liter and on their generator to charge their phone and buy data 100 naira for 110 MB and come into this Twitter space to come and defend Tinubu. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Because how are you going to campaign and convince someone whose family were killed by these bandits who you have integrated back into society? How are you going to convince someone whose business was closed down because they can't afford to run diesel every day? How are you going to convince someone who lost their parents to kidnappers? Come on, it's just too much. And sometimes I just feel like it's useless talking to these people because they don't even know what they are defending. They just give them 20,000 naira on that WhatsApp group. They just come here, start speaking like people that are programmed. When you program people, but just do what you program them to do without even thinking. They just go on and carry out that. This is how these people behave, like zombies. They don't have a mind of their own. I strongly believe that we have a good leader that will be, and that will be my political party wherever he go. If he decides to wake up tomorrow and say that I like NDC again, I'm already waiting for him outside the door. That is just me. Thank you so much, host. It's really, really, really good pleasure being here with you guys. I look forward to still being here and continue to listen to the amazing contribution from everybody. Thank you so much.
Well said, well said, well said. Thank you, thank you. All right, so we're going to run through all the hands that we have that have been waiting for a minute. Justice, are you still there? Justice.
Yes, I am.
Damn, impressive. All right. Do you
Can you hear me? Yes, of
We can
course.
hear,
Can you
we
hear
can
me?
hear you. Go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Um, you know, um, first of all, anyway, let me just go straight to the topic. Peter Obi, for me, I've said it before. I want to see a very prudent government. I mean, we have said all these things today. I've said it. But again, I'm looking at Peter Obi presidency where I think right now, we have about 12 or 15 jets as presidential fleet. Perhaps Peter Obi will sell most of them and maybe reduce it to two. Maybe he will have one, and then maybe the vice president will have one. Just in case we have international travels, and then of course reduce all these fuel guzzling vehicles. Um, I almost one of the respondents here talked about a story where he's saying that some people are actually angry and pushing against the Peter Obi presidency because his convoy will be reduced. So it shows you how docile and how stupid we have become as people. Where somebody is looking at Peter Obi's cutting down the cost of governance as a threat to their business or to their lifestyle. We are trying to take out um, life and public funds from a generation that has refused to work, a generation that has had it all easy with public money and no accountability. So for me, particularly, I am looking forward to a presidency that will stop. Of course, first of all, he demonstrates prudence even in the size of his family. Yes, we are done with ADC, but of course, I wouldn't make a submission without taking a swipe at the Adamawa Emiloko, the erectile integrity to have over 30. So such a president will just be having 30 different convoys, rolling around Abuja, causing a lot of nuisance and confusion. I liken it, Sheyi Tinubu in 30 places. And again, this one is 80. He already has grown up grandkids. So we're looking at perhaps 35 or 40, human beings in different convoys, different DSS attachments to them and all of that. So again, Peter Obi demonstrated that he likes prudence. You know, he kept his family small. This is a billionaire who, beyond Margaret, can even decide to have so many side chicks and have so many side children. But you know, you see, it's not it's making. So for me, I'm practically looking for, you know, prudence in governance and, you know, a bit of transparency. You know, if we're spending this money, government will post it to say, okay, this is the money, this is how much we got, you know, this is how much is going into this is how much is going into that, you know, that kind of government. But it's essentially prudence. And again, like people have said, let us again have a president that can actually travel into the international community and give us a bit of honor and respect, right? The last time we had that, you know, he went to do the first term of Trump, he got us the name lifeless. It's quoted that Trump said he never again should somebody bring him close to such a lifeless leader. Okay, and now we have criminal in Abuja who cannot actually go to the US. Now, I'm not just saying it because of the US. I mean, Nigerian affairs, especially as it relates to citizens of the country in the diaspora, we need a president that, you know, that commands a bit of respect to the wider world and nations. Okay, yes, that's also what Peter Obi will bring. You know, Tudo, you just said it. Another president with a bit of cohesion, coherently speaking, and we can understand what he's saying. That honestly, I've been using brain cells for the past 12 years. You know, at best, Buhari just talks about, you know, bigotry and, you know, how narrow-minded his own mind is. And then we've moved from that to a full pulaba who probably starts talking about electricity, and then he ends up talking about roasted corn, you know. So a bit of coherent leader that at least can say, yes, I went to Germany, I spoke to the German chancellor, this and this and this and this and this and this are what we discussed, you know, talking about, you know, that kind of a thing. Or I went to Kenya. Again, a president that is alert. Look at, we are suffering in South Africa. We are having issues with in Ghana. Perhaps this man continues in office, most of these little African nations will chase Nigerians away because there's no place you don't find in Nigeria. So they are saying that statistically, one person in every five black people start converging in a place. One person is Nigeria. So that is huge. So we need a president that is mentally alert to say, I'm going to call Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa and have a serious discussion with him why he should allow for this Islamophobic, you know, fortunate attacks on fellow. And if you're not able to, you know, get any concrete response from your colleague in South Africa as president, you reciprocate the same thing here in Nigeria, or at least you do something. We have a president that does not really care. Again, Tudo, you know, I told you, this man came into office. They showed him the true result of 2023. I can tell you that is what is going on. From that day, he swore that he was never going to do any other thing. Probably he forgot that he made a promise to fix power. And if he doesn't fix that power, you should not vote for him. And then started chasing Peter Obi up from that day till now. That's what I believe. He saw that result and he said, no way. I can't be working for these people. Why this man is gaining ground? And again, Nigerians must remember, particularly the people of the north, that Peter Obi is the only politician in Nigeria who never. That is huge on his character. He never went away. Rather, he went about. To remember, there was a time he was sinking boreholes in environments where he never seen drinking water before. Yes, a lot of people cajoled him to say, "Oh, look at the kind of borehole he's at. Look at the kind of GP tanks he's using to set up." But those boreholes are functional. That is the most important thing.
I told Anton and wish my brother.
Yeah, and we those people have representatives, both representatives, state governments, and all of that, but they didn't do it until a man from Southeast Agolo, Anambra State, went all the way to the north. So when people talk about this bigoted about this guy, we have seen him practically behave like a human being. He who brings water in several cultures and traditions, they believe that person has got life. He sank all those boreholes. I don't have selective amnesia. I remember this because it's just in the short time past. Okay, if he could do all these things with his own hard-earned money, this again is a man who has spent more money on health care than the entire federal government in the last fiscal year. I mean, we can and on. So please do not allow anybody gaslight you. Finally, I want to say to my Kwankwasia friends and Kwankwaso himself, if he's listening on Kwankwaso, I want to make you a promise. Obedience are like Lannisters. And Lannisters by 2023 must pay their debt. So it is a huge sacrifice to have paired with Peter Obi to make sure that we rescue Nigeria from these bloody criminals. Atiku and Bola Tinubu can't step foot in the US. It is clear. So we cannot be regressive. Yes, a lot of people might say, why the US all the time? That is the cradle of democracy. When they cough, the world catches cold. So if we do not have a president that can even represent us at that level, then we are regressive. Finally, Trudeau, we have moved from number 4 in Africa in terms of total GDP to number 5. I think right now, maybe Algeria has taken over. Because last time I checked that thing, we are number 4 and Algeria was number 5. So for all these bastards from the roasted corn party, come here to tell us loans, come here to tell us about all the reserves and all those jackals that they talk about. I don't know where they're getting that from, but every day we are going back, we are dropping from number 1 when Jonathan handed over to this demonic, shameless, devilish APC. We have now come to number 5. If you give this man another 4 years, we'll go to number 10. That is what it means. From how many years ago we were number 4? Most is having connection issues. Sido, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you very well.
Yes.
No, we're good. I just switched.
Okay, good. We were number 4 on the terrorism watch. Number 8. We are number 4. So another 4 years of Tinubu will become number 1. These things are clear. This guy has failed on security. He has failed on the economy. The one that idiots are talking about. He had an F9 in the economy. But he has nothing upstairs except taxing people, except raising debts, except raising inflation. He has failed on that. He has failed on education. He has failed virtually everywhere. He can't even stay in Nigeria and change his urine catheter. He has to fly to France to do that. And the most disrespectful of all, because a lot of people don't see it as actually a disrespect and a disregard to general is that he came into office and he disconnected Aston Villa from Band A and he's now using solar. That is for me, the most disrespect. You disconnect yourself from the national grid. So obviously
they're not a pay bill. They are their own billions.
Yes.
They don't federal institutions don't pay their bill. No, not the bills in America there. Everybody, if you're working for government establishment, it's free.
So that's exactly what I'm saying.
About 20 minutes, I'll be done.
20 minutes to do what? Do you want to come in 20 minutes?
My
What? Sorry.
Yes.
Jesus!
I got you there. Yes, I like to get you good, bro. Okay, so in rounding up,
I'm refreshing the space. So every time you do that, the mic automatically comes on.
Okay. So honestly, we'll have to take this seriously. I like the fact that we are moving on now from the shenanigans of party politics to the real issue. People will be expecting and anticipating that we also now start a satellite um, on INEC and all the other issues, because we have very grave uh, germane issues in those regards. But all through today's space is very nice. I am happy. Uh, the mass defections will continue. A lot of people are no longer shocked. All these things were expected, right? But again, it behoves on all of us now sensitize our base. NDC is a new platform. Uh, we have an election to win. Um, we will not also do it the 2023 way. This time around, you vote, you will stay in your polling units and defend your vote. Make sure you do the most needful, because if we don't do it and these guys steal this election again, well, the last person in Nigeria can switch to the light. Thank you very much. I yield the mic.
All right, that was a brilliant brilliant submission.
Yeah, sorry. I was listening to you. Your point about why a president needs to visit America, it's not because they are the bastion of democracy. They are our trading partner. Billions of dollars going both ways. How about that for a reason? Right? How about exploring that to see how we can expand on that, of visa issues, do not let Nigerians have to wait to get American visa.
This thing you did here, God will not forgive you. Your God will not forgive you. Because our great grandfather has to wait before they get his special visa to go to America. You want our great grandfather to now be your president, so you now wait. If our great grandfather is waiting 3 months, you now wait 3 years. You take 3 years to apply for visa.
That is how you basically, establish all these bilateral relationships. It matters. Nigerians are selling their freaking properties to go get 1 year. Is it 1 year appointment for US visa? 1 year appointment. I just had a family friend who went through that. She waited for a year. And then when she got there, the interview was over in minutes. No. And all the money that she paid, she won't get refunded. Those are the issues. You say why you need to go to America. Business, education, the global village. Like, there are several reasons why healthcare. Have you fixed your healthcare? What if somebody is dying and they say, the only place they can treat this shit is there's a doctor in Florida. if you find that doctor, you will leave. If not, your ass is toast. How about that? Medical tourism. There are so many reasons why you need to travel. And imagine whether for any of those reasons, visa becomes a problem. Right? Because we're always thinking one way, why are you running away? Why don't you stay and fix your country? You are naive. You are very, very naive. Who told you I want to run away? We're saying smooth things out, fix our countries, elevate our status in the global community so that these countries can respect us. That's the point we're trying to make. So when you were speaking, I couldn't speak there, but I was just listening to that. There's so many reasons why a Nigerian president should be able to visit America or any other European country for that matter, or any other country in the world. But since we're talking America specifically, so many reasons. Do you know how much Nigerians contribute to the US economy? Nigerians in America. One of the number one immigrant communities that contributes to America, to the US in every phase of life, every facet of the economy. This is well documented. Well documented. Nigerian in America. Proud to be one of those. But the point here is that our president can't come and see us. Our president can't come and see us.
You've been stranded in the foreign land by the father of your land. They don't strand you.
we are not.
So wait,
Our president can go ahead.
imagine if a foreigner does you something, I say, yeah, call your president to come and defend you. That you
Jesus,
try.
I'm telling you, you know the person I'm going to call for. I'm not calling Abikata Beauty. I'm not calling. I'm calling NAACP. That I am challenging my race before my nationality. You see how bad it is? Velele, do you see how bad it is? No, because you am I lying?
No, but the thing is,
You
but the thing is, you don't even have to go too far. I mean, you see a situation where people there are more priorities because it's an investment, and everybody that is in finance knows that an investment. What you do is you have several projects, you have multiple projects. It could be three, it could be four, it could be five, it could be 10, and your decision as an administrator, as a manager, is to decide, okay, which of these projects is going to be high priority, and the way you make that, use the tools and financial tools that is what they call net present value. Use the MPV, or you can use the R, which is the internal rate of return, or you can use the payback, depending on the structure of the project. But the most important thing is that you have to look at your financial tools to decide, capital budgeting tools to be able to decide which way to pick. Most importantly, when you are building a road project, everybody knows that you have to establish your dollar per kilometer costs. How much it costs you to build 1 kilometer of that road project. That is how all projects globally are benchmarked. Can you imagine that these guys couldn't tell us how much it cost that Lagos Calabar Coastal Express Road? They couldn't tell us how much per kilometer. I mean, they couldn't tell us because this was supposed to be a fraudulent project where it's designed for them to steal all the money as much as possible with their criminal counterpart, Gilbert Shagori. And right now, if you look at them, I'm posting something on Jumbotron. If you look at the costs per kilometer, let me blow your mind. $7.5 billion per kilometer. That is how much the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road is costing Nigerians. 7.5 billion. I mean, think about it.
Gosway, don't forget to add that Omar, he first said it was 4 billion. He first said it was 4 balloon to 7 point something billion. 4 billion per kilometer.
And the worst thing is this. Here's the
you did a street lights. How many street lights did 1 kilometer? Is it the iron rod? Come on.
What we don't understand? So what we understand is this: the most expensive construction in Africa in terms of similar roads, similar configuration, similar type, is only about just a little bit of 2 million, and that is Nairobi Expressway, Kenya. And typically in Africa, it typically costs less than 1 million, just less than 1 million per kilometer for every road project in Africa. But Nigeria will not get money. You do this with $7 million per kilometer. It's just like you. If I step out of my house now, I'm going to drive to Walmart. The distance that they've constructed so far. Do you know that as we speak, out of the planned or projected or expected distance they were supposed to construct is 750 kilometers. You know how much you've constructed so far? 47. 47 kilometers out of 750 kilometers. That is about 6% of that Lagos Highway project that has been completed. Tell me, if it costs America 7.5 million per kilometer to construct a road that would from my doorstep to Walmart, of what use is that road, my brother? Of what use would that 7.5 million per kilometer investment? So we see a situation whereby these guys are robbing Nigerians blind every day, and they don't have any apologies. They don't have any apologies whatsoever. And you think that this Obi was talking about this non-stop every day on his timeline that look, there are so many MPV, that 29 miles or 47 kilometers that they built. How much future cash flow are you going to get? Benefits are you going to get from building that road? When you look at so many roads in the northern states that allow thousands and thousands of farmers to move from point A to point B for a fraction of that cost you spent, and to create so much commercial activities all across the northern states, you can build more than 100 different network of roads connecting farm to market, businesses to industry and everything all across the northern states. Then you come to the south, you can even build railroad all across the eastern or southeast that will drop. Guess what? We build such infrastructures, what allows traders and business owners to do is to facilitate their business value chain because they're able to move product and services from point A to point B. And guess what? Commercial activity creates the more tax revenue you get as the government because government's primary source of income is tax revenue they get from companies and businesses and individuals. So now, instead of you building road network across the northern states, now these our farmers in Plateau, in Niger, in Jigawa, in Kano to be able to move their goods and services from farm to market, industries to manufacturing. He decided to go and put it in the 47-kilometer road in Lagos that leads to nowhere, that nobody's using, that's not still being used, that's not been finished. And you lied to us, you're being dishonest and told that it could be 750-kilometer road. Meanwhile, you ended up sinking 100% of the money in only 47 kilometers, and now everything has been abandoned. It's no more people going there. They've packed up and left. They've cashed out, put the rest of the money in their pocket, and told Nigeria, fuck you, do your worst. So
He has opened up a co-Atlantic for himself and his business associate, Kagori.
what about Oyo? What about Badan? What about Ondo? What about all these other southwestern states? Didn't you expect them to benefit from some kind of road network? Look at videos all over the internet. Road networks all across Nigeria. Peter Obi was, you see, that is one thing people don't understand. Obi I call him St. Peters because he understands what Nigerians, where Nigerians are hurting. He has taken the time to visit communities in pain, visit families that are victims of tragedies. He has talked to IDP camps. He has talked to business owners. He knows their needs and what they need to be able to grow and prosper. And the government is not doing those things. They're denying those things from Nigerians and businesses in Nigeria. And Peter Obi had looked at all these things and said, look, I can utilize my NPV analysis and say, okay, which one is going to drive more value to the lives and businesses of Nigerians? Let's prioritize those ones and execute those projects so that they can start benefiting
I
right away.
said, especially the strong arrow, the 3 kilometers combined. Work on those, fix those ones. All these are federal roads. Just fix them and see how that will boost the economy. It's that simple. All right, let's run through the other hand. I think we should now go to, was it Jerry? Or Olabest. Olabest, are you still there? Olabest.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you speak after you, Jerry. After Jerry, Okoro Uku, and then Dr. Solomon, in that order. Go ahead, Ola.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Prince Zella, woman leader. Okay, let me just chime in on the issue of GRV. For me, I think what he did was an Ogo, so it's called out. Because like everybody has they have analyzed it. There is Duarte, Fonso Duarte in a foundation, so he has that task to. And again, NDC will have their own gubernatorial candidates, so it's going to be hard for them to give NDC candidates and now for GRV. So I think it's called an Ungu. Maybe if he can change his mind and register before the Somi register to end, I think it will be better for him. So on the issue of Peter Obi fixed Tinubu's failures, people have spoke well, they have said a lot of things, but I will just speak on our institutions. So someone said the National Assembly they will not allow him to work because most of them are not party. Today, the 15 House of Rep member they come to the NDC, and he has not become president. So that's number one. By the time he becomes president, in few minutes you see most of this. One, during the election, there will be many people that will win their own seat as Senate and
both in the Senate and the House of Rep. Because in the last election, that Labour Party, we have like 30 something House of Rep members and 6 senators. So there are some that will camp and join the ruling party. That's the Nigerian politics. That's number two. Then the third one is the fact that these senators that you are seeing, they don't have immunity. It's only presidents and governor and then that have immunity. You can use CFCC to deal with them. So it's either they run away, they put another people into office, or they have to return what they have stolen. So the as president, he has the power to appoint. And to fight corruption is not hard. As he's always explained that once you are meeting, you as the commander in chief, you are not saying, "Hey, this is my what's my own percentage." So every other person will be very afraid to get involved in corruption because once you are caught, you are. So once you appoint the attorney general and your EFCC chairman, the inspector general of police, and maybe the ICPC, I think those are the people that will deal with corruption because the EFCC catch you, they take you to court. Most corruption cases we have in Nigeria today, after EFCC have done all their work, by the time they get to court, court to give these people bail. They just say, okay, go and pay 500 million. I still remember Yaya Bello was bailed with 500 million. This is a man that was allegedly embezzled billion naira. Okowa, Okowa, 1.8 trillion. I don't know how much he used to bail himself. So it's only when it's someone that they want to punish, like Malami, like Erufai, like our former Super governor Emefiele. Those are the ones that always have this thing again. So they want to cross into APC, your sins are forgiven. So these are the things that Mr. President can do. So if someone like Peter Obi will do that, fight corruption. Fighting corruption is not that hard. People always make it look like, oh, the system, oh, the system. When I talk about the system, it is people that make up the system. And the problem we've had over the years is once the people at the top are corrupt, it's very hard at the down ladder to you cannot control your superior. That's where the problem is. So if your superior is stealing, there's no way you can tell him, oh, okay, you need to stop this thing you are doing. He will sack you, you will receive sack letter. So if the superior is the one that is not stealing, really control your subordinate because well, you know president is doing the right thing. Then I talk about our institution like the judiciary. But that's the most important aspect of it. The reason is that even president can be removed by the judiciary. We saw the case of the election of 2023, how Supreme Court overlooked so many things just to accept that election, that fraudulent election. So the judiciary from the that one is also from the Chief Justice of the Federation. So once you appoint, one thing I'm very sure that people will appoint people that are competent, that are capable, that have the character into those offices. Judiciary function about the National Assembly, you know, so we are the one that make them look to power. And the power they enjoy is mostly from the president. Mr. President gave them a vehicle of 160 million each. So that's why they mandate all the loan requests, asking for what is the loan for. So the problem is from Mr. President himself. So on the issue of insecurity, I think people have done justice how we do insecurity as commander in chief for assistance from the outside. You know, like our president, whom is the one that is advising him to go to Turkey. I've never seen such a thing before. To when I seek assistance. So when you look at all these things, So Peter Obi will fix those things. Now talk about wastage. In fact, that's the main problem with the 210 trillion they are talking about in the NNPC that they are unable to account for. I think it's between year 2017 to 2023. Now, since 2023 has never entered, we don't even know how much is missing or how much they have not accounted for. So, as I was saying, the one that is missing 210 to 2017 to 2023. Now, from 2023 to today, now we don't even know how much has is lost or they have not done any audit. So the amount of money that is missing, the amount of money that is being wasted on convoys, like 120 vehicles convoy, know how much fuel those convoy will consume. So that is what the problem is. Again, Mr. Peter, we are someone that has moved around the country, knows the problem of each region or even each state. So yeah, people in like issue of insecurity, the one in Kwara. Do you know that up to today, Mr. President has office Kwara for once, even with the attack incident. He has only visited, I think, 2 months. So in Peter Obi, we are definitely have something, and that's why when we say nothing, it's simply because we found someone who have the solution. Number one, that he understands the problem because that's the number. Before you can solve any problem, you need to understand the problem first. Then he also understands the solution. So then, I won't close by not by talking about this our mantra of from consumption to production. That is where the main issue is, from consumption to production. So as a country, we have a lot of mineral resources. We have natural resources. We have fertile land for agriculture, and these are the things that we can invest in. I still remember President Tinubu appointed Dele Alake as a journalist, as the Minister of Solid Minerals. And now we don't know what they are doing with our solid minerals. So I'm not even getting any information from that ministry. So we have iron ore, we have gold, we have this one that normally used to do cement. What's the name? The limestone, yeah, we have limestone. So we have so many of those things in addition to crude oil, which is our major exports, where we export. We can export. As he has connection across the world, so it's very easy for him to negotiate or to look for business partners. For example, country like China with 1 billion population, they imports a lot of agricultural products, both for feeding and for industrial purposes. So, and they import from countries like Brazil, from US, from Argentina, and the likes. So, someone like you can make a trade deal with China where we export some of our agricultural products there. We earn a lot and to be able to stabilize our economy. And at the end of the day, it's not become it's only if you cannot work that you're not able to have money. Because when I look at oh, these are present government is wasting our resources, our money. For example, look at city boys. Should I call it a project? It looks like a project, and I'm very sure they will have a budget for it. It's a total waste of money. So, like Mr. Peter always say, money needs to be tied to productivity. So if you are spending that money on something that is productive, like I think there are sometimes government like shops, like a complex that are very affordable to for people. They can rent, they pay. There are things that government can do for people. It's not just to construct roads. We are talking about Sokoto to Badagry. I was on space, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago. You see that there's no road, there's no existing road now. If you want to travel from Lagos to Badagry, from Ibadan to Ilorin and the likes. I'm talking about Lagos to Calabar. You have the East-West road. So invest money in people so that you the money that you're going to earn, maybe through tax and every other thing, you're going to use to construct those roads in the future. So an APC as a government, they don't take advice. They just do what they feel like. Even when what they are doing does not have any impact on the people. I listened when Macno was on space. I was talking about things that we do this, we do that. What we are asking is, what is the impact on the life of the citizen? Like the guy that said he stay in Ibadan, you should have asked how much does he spend on transport fare going to work? How much is he paying at the house rent? Those basic things have increased astronomically, and everything is the hand of private individuals. People that are into real estate, they now make more money, right? But even at that, the patronage will be very low because it's people that have money that can patronize them. That is too high. So there are things that government can provide, housing estate, be barracks, befitting barracks, or even renovate existing ones for our police and our military officers. We have a case of Justice Crack because he posted soldiers by the military. Until people come out to shout after 5 days, now we brought him to court. So all this welfare for our military, I'm very sure Peter will be someone that will even visit those barracks. You will see the condition of most of our military. Not like it used to. So these are the basic things. So by the time you invest money into all these things, you are providing job. At the same time, you are making life easy for them. So as people are working, they are making money. That money they are making, they are spending that money back into the economy. Because money is like water, right? And it flows. People make use of it, for everything things you want to do. So, but instead of allowing that money to flow, what the government is doing is they dam the money one side. And they now tell you that, okay, only I'm worshiping that you have a share of it. So, what we have in Nigeria today is now a case where people that are working are not earning much, but they are not earning enough to pay. For those that are not working, they are thugs, they house, can break bottle, they are not making free money. Imagine you're a graduate and go and collect a care at a higher purchase. You have to work like 12 hours a day for you to meet up the amount of money you have to. And in the same, at the same thing, maybe when you are going home at night, you can barely go with like 10,000 or more. Okay. For someone who is a thug, use a tout who will break your windscreen, break your glass if you don't give him 100 naira. We're making like within 30, 50,000 a day. But those money doesn't have account, so you collect money, they drink, they smoke, they do all sorts of things with it. Tomorrow they come out 5 a.m. and start collecting money. The money is not going to government accounts. Money is not going anywhere. Just being wasted. So people that are working are not making money. But people that are the violent, talk, stout, they are the one making the money. And the next generation are now seeing them as a role model. You can see some people today will just say that them Solomon want to be like Solomon. So people are seeing those people as role model, and that's the most dangerous thing our society is turning to. Start hearing things people saying that the school to as a ghetto cartoon, if you that like the school that you went to, then what have you achieved? So you start hearing things like school and scam and stuff like that. So our values is gradually degrading. When we are young, they used to say to Batararo, as in like if you study your book, you excel, you become successful in life. But as time goes on, things are becoming the opposite. So
Labest. 2
yeah.
seconds. Or 10 seconds.
Okay, so what I'm saying is this. Like I said, I'm talking about fixing our institution, then construction to production, where people's hard work, people's labor, we commensurate with their standard of living. The guy that said this thing about and talk about standard of living, no. What he was talking about is cost of living. There is no between cost of living and standard of living. So more like cost of living is manageable. So that's why I stay in Abuja. You should know that life don't. So my own is this. There's a lot we can achieve. But for me, what I want, what I'm looking forward to, is to start from our once the institutions are fixed, then even any other place that come after can continue from the foundation that he has laid. That's why I stop.
Thank you for that powerful submission. One of the key things I took away from your submission is in Nigeria there is no much reward, right, for honest labor, for skills, but instead we reward psychophancy, which is the thuggery, the robbers, kidnappers, and the rest of it. So I just feel the one thing I want Italy to solve is insecurity. Was the government or was the country secured? I feel every other thing will begin to align because security is tied to so many things. When the country is not secured, farmers will be scared to go to their farms, but they will not be able to plant unless of even harvesting. When there is insecurity, if there is and this you see in the north, some of the schools are being shut down because education is affected. When there is insecurity, there will be injuries and all that. Your health, your life is at stake. So the number one thing for me is insecurity. And you will be able to achieve this, then we start talking about production. From there, we start talking about production, human capital, talking about other aspects of it. So who is next? Let me just call anybody.
Yeah, no, I was supposed to be Jerry, but before she
I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry. One sentence. I beg my own take time to the one sentence. So, in Tinubu's Nigeria, right? It is safer to be a kidnapper and make a video of you torturing the kidnapped than it is for you to be an activist and make a video of you calling out the ills in the society. You can take this to the bank, and I'm sure this president is not going to be like that. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Before Jerry goes, you brought up Dele Alake. Remember, he was sitting in that hearing, Ali Edun and Magina, what's his name? The Bagudu, the economy and planning, budget and planning guy. And Alake was talking about, well, you're going to like this one. Illegal mining, that's why all those things are still persisting because there's not enough money to fight illegal mining.
So wait, is this the same Baguri? I say Baguri, the same Bagudu of Abacha money laundry. The other one, the same one or a different one?
I'm talking about Dele Alake.
Yes, now no, there were two people in the discussion.
Atiku Bagudu.
Yes. Who are talking?
Dele Alake. I'll just mention his name because he was.
Okay. I thought you mentioned two names. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's dial that back. So Dele Alake is saying that we are losing money because we don't have money to protect money. That's what he's saying.
Correct.
Paul Ahmed, you would hire intellectuals. They don't miss. They never miss. The country is like, bro, I beg now. The country is like a joke. It's like a long running joke. God. So wait. Just like so I
And by
understand.
the way, it was the same guy that paid $2 billion of public funds as during his tenure as under Abacha. He was an associate of Abacha. Sorry,
that's what I thought. He was the Abacha guy, now. The Abacha guy with the top.
The Abacha guy, yeah. I still agree. Yeah, right.
Crazy, man.
So yeah, so that's what I was talking about. So it just brought to mind. Yeah. So it brought to mind solid apart from solid mineral, steel. Does anybody know the Minister of Steel? Does anybody know? Nobody knows.
I know. Hold on. I think that minister is in the UK because Tinubu went and borrowed money from the UK to revive the UK steel industry. I think our minister is in the UK, but when I keep France, where they call.
No. This nigga is Audi. That's his name. So, in my honest opinion, so here's a fun fact: Nigeria imports $4 billion annually in steel, right? So I'm talking. This is all private sector, by the way. This is not government thing. So from construction companies, manufacturing firms, oil and gas, telecoms, automotive, even real estate, just name it. Whatever is involved, we spend $4 billion annually importing. Now, this thing, the only thing he has achieved as a minister is to organize a conference. That's the only thing this nigga has achieved. Organizing, because that it is during Tinubu's time that Nigeria government organized a steel conference. First time in our history.
So I was trying to do something in Abia State, right? And it got a little bit political. And I told the guy, have fun now. Let's go and meet this person and this one. It's like, no, you are going to be shut down because OT only works with intellectuals. They don't have time for the politics. I mean, look at the charade that we are seeing happening. Bro, what is the objective of a steel conference? What does that even mean?
So that all the stakeholders can come together. So, but like, say that conference, they go budget money for the conference. They go budget money for them. They go chop, then they
You mean they go budget and inflate money for them? You need to see the line item. Bottle of water, 10,000 naira. Sitting arrangement, 50,000 naira.
So we are going to come and gather to discuss how to produce steel and how to improve our steel industry. And yet we have not been able to produce shit. So basically, all we did was to gather and talk.
No. You know, it gets better. The product of the conference was to advise the president to go and borrow money from the UK to revive the UK's dying steel industry. Guys, this time is not banter. Wait, this is not risky. Everything I say here is grounded in fact. People think I'm just joking. I'm not. Your country is unreal. It's unreal. Wait, make a come to that. You know, the UK people actually posted it. They posted it as a campaign poster. Oh, God, it's crazy.
Of course, it's not one of the players that UK for Sunday. So that's what we're talking about here, right? So this nigga goes to work every day, by the way. Can you imagine? He has a job. He has office that he goes to. He has SSA under him. He has other people. So what did they do? What did they go to work to do every day? That's the question we're asking ourselves.
To improve the UK steel industry.
And he's collecting salary.
And all of them, from minister of state to everybody, they are collecting salary. What did they go to work to do every day in the Ministry of Steel? Me, I want to know. Anyways,
what steel? I didn't mind him.
Exactly. Ajakuta is still as dead as fuck. Like he's not resurrected.
So we
all right.
And this is the cost of
and he gets budget allocation every year. He gets budget allocation every year to do what?
You know, there's this movie on Netflix, right, where they detailed how to launder money. It sounds like the Nigerian government is laundering money with a non-functioning ministry. I know even like
they are sharing the money.
For his cousin. He created Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. Created ministry. He created
Which
an
one is
ministry
blue
of
economy? Wait, there's economy.
nah,
Blue
that's where
economy.
Tola is
That's
now, former
blue
governor of
economy
Osun.
is part of the whole marine industry and environment.
So,
And
so, so, so you know why this thing is
so
He
touching me, right?
created
This
another
guy,
one, livestock. He created livestock ministry.
hold on,
okay, it is
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think it's like future deposits. You are saving money for the election. So what I'm saying is this guy works with so many money launderers. You have Atiku Bagudu, you have Chaguri from the Swiss, Swiss government. It would make sense, right, for us to actually find out when he leaves office that he's actually laundering money through this ministry. I'm not, again, this is not even me. I'm birds of a feather flock together.
It has to be now. If you budget 218 billion, take Mohammed Party, right? Ministry of Health, and then you go down all the allied agencies. You budget 218 billion, and the guy gets 36 million in actual transfer. Where the rest go, Belele? Where the rest they?
I beg, just hold on, make I call Chaguri on my other line. Give me like 2 seconds. Make I ask Chaguri how to say
Let's yeah, I think get some, of course. Guys, sorry, let's be fair to Jerry. He's been,
Jerry, go ahead.
Here for a minute. Yeah, Niger Press, don't worry, you come back when he's done with his. It gets interesting. You can never get tired of discussing this. Jerry, are you still there?
Yes.
All right. Thank you for your patience. Go ahead.
It's all right. It's all right. Thank you. It's all right. And it's always amazing talking to people of the country and then continue to move forward. So for my submission will be centered around, economic re-engineering of Nigeria and having a blueprint. Because 4 years is very short. It was just 2023 that we are here already. And there's a feeling that people will be my
Sorry, is it me or is the mic low? Guys.
His mic is low. His mic is low.
It's low. Probably I was from my phone. Okay.
Yeah, if you speak directly.
All right. So I
okay,
said,
this is better. Yes.
Okay. I'm saying 4 years is short. What can people be doing in 4 years? So I'm looking at how can we create a blueprint that targets a roadmap for re-engineering the Nigerian economy, and looking at let's be 2040. So because there's a popular saying that shoot for the moon, lead the stars, right? So Itobi comes on board and sets the ball in motion, and then whoever comes after him, with this blueprint, will continue. So first of all, I want to first of all propose for power. We target 50,000 megawatts, in power. Nigeria we've been dangling around 5,000 for a while. Those below 5,000. By 2030, we should be able to 8,000. Serious about fixing. We can do that. And I think we should also look at how do we have this policy, guiding the administration. And so it's not like we will do this, expecting to do this, We have, just like we had a project in 25 in America, we have a project 2030, 2040 that we all are working towards. With the Conquasia movement, they are all on board, And so if he continues to 2021, fine, he continues to implement this policy towards an upward trajectory for Nigeria, instead of having different ideologies after people here, maybe so someone else comes on board and there's a different approach towards government. So first of all, power to industrialize Nigeria, and a superpower, runs on human capital, not just oil. So we need to engineer education around STEM. I'm an engineer, so I love technology, and I believe that the country needs to focus on technology, science, and engineering, and also technical skills. I don't know if we had from Money Point CEO talk about skill gap. So we need to re-engineer our education system. So we churn out more people who are talented, because the country is only built by engineers who have the skills, this capacity.
to build. And we need to launch. I posted on my timeline recently. Probably launch a global program where like have we can rate, so talented Nigerians all over the world can find it very comfortable coming back home, to contribute their best towards the reindustrialization of Nigeria, the reengineering of the Nigerian economy, and also talent transfer, bringing back the talents and technology and the skills. I also believe in institutional growth, not just driven by a person. So we need to strengthen our institutions, and I believe PWB is someone that can do that. Our institutions need to be strengthened, not just about a president or a strong man making things happen, but institutional growth. Where there's zero tolerance to corruption, is merit over loyalty. So like you see, psychophancy, civil service, psychophancy in government around this Tinubu administration. I believe there will be meritocracy in obese government and cutting off waste. The waste is just to sacrifice. They shouldn't be citizens shouldn't be sacrificed for public service holders to enjoy or to share the policies of government, but they should sacrifice from leaders. And we know Peter Obi, and that you find that he's going to cut public waste to the barest minimum. And I was going to talk about fiscal federalism. Nigeria is a federal republic right on paper, but practicing federalism. The federal government should handle defense, of course, currency, foreign affairs. While the states should not be left to consider. The systems in Nigeria should have their own roadmap to power, independence. That's how you can get 6 states, instead of one overloaded center we have Abuja and Lagos. So we can also gazette plan for 2040 Nigeria to become one of the top 20 economies in the world. It's a huge leap. It's a huge plan. It's a huge vision. When we try, how we can do. As far as it's by the National Assembly, it's a national blueprint. No matter the administration, contributes. And we could also say by 2030 we should be top in Africa when it comes to human development index and GDP per capita. We therefore develop left power, and we can be back to the one in Africa. We can probably target $1.5 billion economy, GDP, diversified beyond oil. Focus on manufacturing and the skilled workforce. I believe Nigeria should still be in a trading post and focus more on being a productive nation. And we have another mantra of production. I Nigeria is so in the making, and I've always like my studies, I've looked at Singapore, look at Japan, look at China, and Vietnam, industrialize, and Nigeria has the capacity to, to be an industrialized country, and that there lies the key to our leap from poverty to prosperity. I don't know if you read the book, The Prosperity Paradox. You realize, creating prosperity and opportunities it happens when there's create opportunities for people to create wealth, like what Japan did in Japan and South. The government comes in, creates the level playing field, sets the agenda, gives targets, and let the companies to achieve those targets. I believe we are not practicing the right kind of economic ideology. We're trying to be a fully capitalist country. I believe developing countries shouldn't be capitalist countries. Developing countries should practice a quasi-socialist economy where there's welfare for the underserved, welfare for the poor, there's free healthcare, and there's free education for the poor, and there's government not government interference, the government support for businesses. Where there are grants, scholarships, all sort of welfare for struggling businesses. So it's not just a situation, because you have the oppressed, you have the downtrodden, you have the who don't have opportunities left out of the equation because they're practicing full-blown capitalism, which is not working for us. I believe we should think around it. The Nigerian kind of socialism, not the Chinese style, not the North Korean style, but a welfare kind of socialism where people are taken care of, people are given the opportunity to grow, people are also there, and there's also close to maybe less than 5% interest rate, so that there's capital for businesses to grow, capital for startups to thrive, and also we could have technology hubs in the country. Look at the country, look at areas that are best using manufacturing is it fashion, is it metalworks, is it various aspects of production, is it agricultural goods, is it machinery. So we break them up into different economic zones. In the southeast, the south, the southwest, what are they good at, what are their strengths, and then incentivize the production. Like look at the Chinese model, they called it the collectivization policy, where people were allocated in zones. This became that specific part of the value chain. Some guys are very good at creating buttons, some are very good at creating, different products. And if you add it together, you find a country that becomes a producing hub, a great industrial machine with different moving parts, different aspects of the country. Because we all have our own areas of strength. So a president that comes in harnesses these individual strengths of various constituent units of the country. In terms of people will decide to stay, nobody will want to be Nigeria, nobody will want to break the country up because we are all producing and we are all benefiting from a federalist system. My resources stays in my state. And I believe all states in Nigeria, north, south, the east, the west, every state is endowed with natural resources that can, make the state thrive. So true federalism will help states not productive become productive. True federalism will help states that are producing to keep and reinvest. And then lastly, I will talk about corruption. Corruption needs to be eradicated completely because presidency, government will focus on bringing the intellectuals, bringing people who know what to do, the people who can create, who can channel their intellectual capacity, create policies, and see this policy to the end, not having a daily allocation to remind them. That does. We have engineers doing the work for working class too. It's all like I did like in power. So we need people, square pegs and square holes and round pegs and round holes, led by intellectuals, led by data. But I believe in running Nigeria like a startup because we have various potential and Nigeria can scale in 20, 30 years if the right areas are in place, the right economic policy is practiced, and the government that is dedicated to eradicating poverty and moving Nigeria to production. That's my submission, and thank you very much.
Well, that's a great submission. Mr. Jerry, I can tell that you are forward thinking, quite ahead of your time. So I'm going to ask you a question, real quick. And this, I really, really want to know. I really need to know, to learn this. Um, what would you say are the top three challenges that you face every day as a tech entrepreneur in Nigeria? What are the top three challenges that you see yourself facing every day as a tech entrepreneur in Nigeria?
Okay. Um, the first I think that first is access to finance. That's one. Two, access to talents. Access to talents, and three, the policy. The policy in Nigeria is not innovation focused, doesn't allow innovation, and because we don't like challenges at school, we love doing things the old way. Like my startup, we are trying to build a new technology that helps track chronic ailments across the country. So you see, when we're trying to get approvals from the states, even the Ministry of Health, you see there's a lackluster approach. There's delay in response. In fact, there's a lack of understanding of what we're trying to do. So you see, we have a civil service that is not educated, that is not second, that is not even innovation, that's averse to innovation, and they're not open to technology. So you see those three challenges, access to finance is very, very important, and the talent. The problem about talent is that most of our talented young Nigerians are living in the country. They find Nigeria not safe, not first of all, they earn parity. We do not earn enough in Nigeria. We have to earn, as an engineer, as a tech entrepreneur, or as a software engineer, or whatever you're practicing. In Nigeria, you earn the world prices better than in Nigeria, so they leave Nigeria. We are left with people who are either who are just trying to learn the craft, and when they become professionals, they leave the country. So the talents, access to finance, and the policy is not friendly at all. As a player in the challenges that we're facing, there are a lot of them. But that's the top three. Uh,
Wow, thank you for everything you do. My encouragement to you is just keep on doing the good work, and when you becomes president, the years falling, those challenges will disappear overnight. I guarantee you. But just keep doing what you're doing. We need more people like you as entrepreneurs in Nigeria because we're going to need a lot of work when we get started. We're going to need to be built from scratch. I mean, there's so much need in the society that has been lacking over the last couple of decades. And it's Nigerians and innovative minds like yours that are going to catapult Nigeria to become the superpower that we're supposed to be. And we will get there. Definitely will get there. Thank you. I think we'll take the next person. Priscilla, who's the next person? I don't know.
Oh, I wanted to even ask him, does he have PVC?
yes, I do.
It's
I have my
scary.
PVC. Yeah, I do.
All right.
Definitely.
All right. That's one of your first parts to see Peter be a major. And you know the mantra for next year, when you vote, don't just go back home. You have to wait back, just ensure that your vote is counted, and also follow up to collision center. Very important
Yeah.
because we have a problem with protection of vote, not even the numbers. So please, if you're on this space, you don't have your PVC. What are you doing? The third phase and the last, I mean, the